Smart Solutions. Add-on Desire.
Hi students, welcome to Add-on Solutions. I'm Jayalakshmi. I will be teaching you History of Intermediate Second Year of Andhra Pradesh. So let us begin our today's session. The title of today's session is Early Story of Mankind. So what do you mean by this title exactly? Here, in this chapter, we will be understanding the early history of the mankind, the man and people associated with the man. So what were their beginning history, how they have evolved and whole of the reasons. So the early history, just understand how did they have come, how were the colonies they have formed, what were the food habits, what were the shelter habits, what all the activities they used to do. So this whole things comes under this chapter. Before just moving to the chapter, like in our childhood days, we might have heard a lot about the theory of human origin. Like many religions have got many different theories. The origination of it's all some stories saying that God has created man, God has created women. They started staying together, then started having their families. Then that led to formation of societies and so on. So there were many stories which has originated for describing or for just making us understand for the origin of this mankind. But here, when it comes to our chapter, the story, early story of mankind, here we will understand that the complete today man, the present man is nothing but he has been evolved from monkey. You might have heard because there was a lot of theories which have explained that man has originated from monkeys. So that is what it is being carried out. But many theories have proved it. Few were against it. They have proved it. So when it comes to our chapter, here we will take a primate is nothing but an ape family, a monkey family as our base. So it is said that human carry the forefathers from the monkey's family. So that is what it is being said in this chapter. So let us understand this chapter by understanding this picture. See, this is how a monkey walking on four limbs, how he has, as the time progressed, how he has evolved by adopting two legs. This is in slow bending position. In next position, he has been improved a little. In next position, he has been improved a little with proper walking system, okay, with correct posture, with correct hand movement. And finally, he has evolved completely as a present human with proper locomotion through legs and hand movements. This is what the evolution speaks about, like how a human has been evolved from a monkey to a perfect present man. So in lesson in detail, here we will understand by solving some important question and answers. So before just beginning or solving the question and answers, let us have a look at the flowchart. That flowchart gives us an idea how we have categorized this humans. So where humans exactly fall under this chart. So students, how do we know? Like there were few early men during past millions and billions years ago. How could you make out? Same way how we have understood the history of our India, history of the world by understanding some items which have been excavated. Many of the civilizations, if you talk about Indus Valley civilization, if you talk about Vedic civilization or some other civilizations throughout the world, there were a lot of excavations. When we have digged the ground, we have found a lot of items. Those items give us an idea, okay, there was something happened in the past. As we understood a lot of civilizations because of a lot of excavations which is being carried out under the ground, in the same way, the origin of human is also being understood by studying our monkeys or the ape family. In the same way, while digging the earth, a lot of bones, a lot of skulls, okay, a lot of skeletal bones have been formed, which gave an idea that, okay, they were so-and-so person belonging to so-and-so structure, they have existed previously. That is what, because of excavations or digging or getting some evidences under the ground where the skulls, the upper part of the body, okay, the head region, the limbs region, the legs region, the ribs, whole of the body structure gave an idea, okay, there was so-and-so person belonging to so-and-so group were existing previously. Those excavations gave us an idea to categorize people into this, okay, this chart. So when it comes to the base of this human formation, here we took whole of the primates. So as it is said, people have originated, okay, a man has originated from an apes family or a monkey family. So they together called as primates. Okay, all monkeys, apes, they fall under primates. So based on the evolution and based on the characteristic features of that particular bones and all, so they have categorized those humans. Okay, from the primates, they've divided into two parts, that is hominoids. Careful about the spelling, hominoids, then hominids. Okay, when the excavation which has been found 24 million years ago, the excavation, the skeleton, everything which was found 24 years ago, they have been categorized under hominoids because they had some special features. When the excavation which was just found some 5.6 million years ago, they have been kept under a category called hominids because both of them have some special characteristic features. While just moving in detail into the lesson, we'll understand the differences. Here, just having outer understanding, let us have a look at this map. So here the primates were divided into hominoids and hominids. Then again, these hominids, they have been categorized under two different men. They are Australopithecus men, then Homo. Okay, this is something, a name Homo, a common term Homo. This Australopithecus men, okay, we have found the evidences 5 million years ago. 5 million years ago, evidences have been formed stating that they were some persons existing on earth which had the characteristics of Australopithecus. So we will understand by solving question and answer the term Australopithecus. Then few excavations which have been formed 2.5 million years ago, they have been again categorized into three. They are Homo habilis, who have been found like 2.5 million years ago. Then we had Homo erectus, who have been found 1 million year or 45,000 years ago. Then we had Homo sapiens, who are nothing but the true present humans whose skeletal remains have been found 45,000 years ago. So this is how a human, okay, his story has been, his formation, okay, from transformation from a primate to a Homo sapien has been categorized through this flowchart. Let us solve some important question and answer so that you will get a clear idea of this chapter. This is what the Homo people here, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, okay, Neanderthal and the Homo sapiens. So see the transformation, how people were evolving, and these all are constructed pictures because of the excavation of the skeletals. Those excavated skeletals, they have framed according to their category. This is how the present human look like. So today's present human who's under Homo sapiens. Let us take up the next slide. Here is our first question, that is, write the differences of hominoids and hominids. As we have seen in the flowchart, as the primates were divided into hominoids and hominids. So what is the difference between them? So as I've told you, based on some characteristic features. So what were those characteristic features? When it comes to hominoids, here we have hominoids generally have, you know, the apes, the primates who falls under hominoids category. When you look their structure, when you look them, okay, they have small brain. They have very small brain. When compared to hominids, okay, they have the large brain. How do you know that they have large brain or they have small brain? It's all because of excavation. While excavating the ground, they have found the skeleton. Okay, they have found the skull. Especially the ones who are belonging to this hominoids, they had small brain, so that they had very small skull. When it comes to hominoid, they had big skull. It means that their brain was large. Then they have quadrupeds. They walk on 4 legs. Their hands are not properly open. Their backbone is bent, and they include apes. So hominoids generally are nothing but monkeys or apes who walk on. Quadrupeds means who walk on 4 limbs. They use hands and legs to walk. That is nothing but quadrupeds. Then when it comes to hominids, they are bipedalists. Nothing but bipedalism. They only use 2 legs to walk. Hominids uses 4 limbs to walk, whereas hominoids uses 4 limbs to walk, whereas hominids uses only two legs. And this is what the correct characteristics for this hominids. They adopt bipedalism, that is walking on their hind limbs. Walking on their hind limbs. So what do you mean? How does it help them? It helps them to gather food, carry their children, okay, and especially helps in locomotion and do all the activities. So this is what the difference between a hominoids who are completely ape-like, whose body will be bent, who will be using 4 limbs to walk, whereas when it comes to hominids, they are bipedalist. Okay, they have adopted bipedalism, which means that they only uses their hind limbs to walk, and remaining 2 hands which are above, they'll be using, okay, for food gathering, walking, okay, looking after their children, etc. So these are the difference between hominoids and hominids, and this is very important 5-mark question answer. Let us go for the next question. Here is our next question. Write the food habits of early human beings. So what were the food habits of early human beings? As it was so early, as it was so primitive, so they didn't know the process of cooking. So how they used to gather the food. So here there are like some types. So they used to gather food in number of ways, among which one was gathering. So there was a gathering process. They used to gather fruits, nuts, vegetables, whatever the available edible material present in the nature. They used to gather it. How did we know that they used to gather? How did we know that they used to gather the food? It's all because of fossils. What do you mean by a fossil? Fossil is nothing but the dead and the decay remains present underground. If something is dead, they remain under the ground, and when there is a pressure of whole of the rocks and all, it will remain under the ground for many years. When you excavate it, you will get that fossil. That fossil gives me an evidence that they were early mans. Early mans gathered food. They have gathered food in the sense they have gathered nuts, fruits, etc. So those everything will be remain in that fossil. The fossil is nothing but a dead remain of that plant or an animal. Based on that fossils, we get to know that early mans were gatherers. They have gathered the food. And what are the other food habits? They used to do scavenging or foraging. What do you mean by foraging? See, foraging is nothing but eating away the animal, just cutting and eating away the you can make it out from this picture, cutting and eating away the flesh of the animal. It can be an animal, it can be plant, or it can be insects. It's nothing but foraging or scavenging, which is very one of the important food habit of early humans. Then what are the other food habits? Here we have hunting. It is said that primitive men early men used to have a very good planned hunting system. They used to plan very well in hunting a very big mammals. This is what the picture speaks about. And they are just killing the mammal in very well planned manner, so that they cannot escape, so that this whole thing cannot escape and they can have their food. This is one of the way. By hunting they could gather the food. Another way is fishing. Fishing is being a very important hunting for them, because a lot of fish bones have been found in the excavation. So this is how they used to practice fishing. So these are nothing but the food habits of the early humans. They used to gather food by gathering. They used to have the food habits by gathering, or by doing fishing, hunting, and foraging or scavenging. Let us take up next question. Here is our next question, that is Australopithecus, which is very important, a very short question answer. What do you mean by Australopithecus? The term Australopithecus is a Latin term. Okay, the term Australo means south, southern, or Pithecus, Pethica. Pethica is nothing but ape in Latin word. Okay, these are the Latin terms. The term Australopithecus means a southern ape. So this is how the Australopithecus man in the sense it's about to evolve man, something in ape structure, who is an Australopithecus. So it is also known as southern ape. They have adopted bipedalism, as I've told you in the first question, first answer. What do you mean by bipedalism? Or any living organism walking on just two limbs, walking on their lower limbs, is nothing but bipedalism. So if one is on bipedalist, if one is a bipedalist, if he walking on two legs, our posture, my structure would be erect. Okay, it will not be bent like monkeys, because we are just using only two limbs. So the upper part will be the ejected. It will be straight. So they'll be having upright posture, which is very ejected and very, erected, erect. That is nothing but a straight posture. So how do you know that there was an existence of Australopithecus man? It's all because of excavations. So those excavations have been found in Tanzania. Okay, Tanzania, we have found excavations related to Australopithecus man. The skulls, the bones have been studied, and whole of this description was given about Australopithecus, and which is very important, very short question answer. Let us go for next question. Let us take up the next question, that is Homo sapiens. Here we have to write some few words on Homo sapiens, because it's a very short question answer. So what do you mean by Homo sapien? Again, Homo sapien is a Latin word. It means that a man or a woman. Homo sapien in general means man and a woman, and they have larger brain. Okay, they have larger brain and smaller teeth. It's here description is given by learning, by understanding, by making the differences of all these skeletal systems. So here they have given a lot of specifications. When it comes to Homo sapiens, these are much evolved apes, much developed apes, and they have some characteristic features. So here Homo sapiens, they have larger brain and they have smaller teeth. They are evolved hominids. When you just recollect, when you just go back to this flow chart, then you can make out in this hominids we have Homo sapiens. So they are much evolved hominids, and then again their skeletons have been found in Africa, Asia, and Europe. This is why by getting together all the skeletals from this particular area, they have come to a conclusion stating that okay, these are Homo sapiens, much evolved hominids with so and so structure, so and so features. They've got a large brain, they've got a small teeth, they've got this height. So these are the studies gathered from this particular area. This is all about Homo sapiens. Let us take up next question. Here is our next question, that is foraging. Foraging is nothing but scavenging. This is one of the eating method of the early humans. What do you mean by foraging? Foraging is nothing but, eating the flesh of the organism, no matter an animal, no matter a plant, no matter insect. This is one of the method adopted by the early human beings. So foraging or scavenging, both are same. It's just eating away the animals, okay? It's cutting and eating away the flesh of the animals or plants or any other living form. Let us go for the next question, that is Neanderthal man. What do you mean by a Neanderthal man? Neanderthal man is known to be the first man. It's known to be the first man who were called as hunter-gatherers. They were the hunter-gatherers. They used to live in the caves. How do we know they used to live in the caves? How do we know they were hunter-gatherers? It's again all because of excavation. Because of excavations, okay? They were excavations, especially in Africa, Asia, and Europe, especially in this region. It has been found that 1 million or 30 to 40,000 years ago, there was an person called Neanderthal man with so and so features. Compared to the present man, he's so different. Okay, compared to the present man, he's so different, this Neanderthal man. So all his skeletons have been found in Asia, Africa, Europe, and has gathered and they have studied these structures. He was called to be the first human, okay, who was the hunter-gatherer and who used to live in the caves. This is all about Neanderthal man. So here, students, we have just understood the story of the mankind by some introduction to the chapter, then a flowchart, then solving some important question and answers which are of short type and very short type. We can't expect a long answer from this. So here, this chapter is very important for short and very short, which is of 5 marks and which is of 2 marks. So that's all.
Add-on solutions. Add-on desires.